Welcome to The Know. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Gus.
All right, you guys, we've got another YouTube controversy on our hands. It's pitting the service against content creators who, once again, are accusing the platform of threatening their livelihoods.
Didn't we do the story already? Haven't we done this story many times?
We've done this story many times. This is yet another development in the ongoing saga that is YouTube versus their own content creators.
Well, it's another example of YouTube cracking down on what channels can and cannot do.
You're not my real dad.
And throughout it all, channel owners keep complaining that the changes are making it harder and harder for them to support themselves.
Okay, so here's the latest controversy. It involves the end cards of videos, which no one clicks on, but no one clicks on ours, but maybe they click on other people's. So it's the part at the end of the video with all the little boxes where we all urge you to subscribe, check out our other videos. This is where we tend to put our outtakes and our goofs. Or there's a lot of people who also use it to ask their loyal fan bases to donate to their crowdfunded Patreons. And Patreon is a popular way for a lot of content creators to raise money as opposed to allowing advertising on their channels, which you might remember has become a lot harder on YouTube for a lot of creators these days as the platform has been cracking down on what types of videos can and can't be monetized.
Okay, recently YouTube announced some changes that yet again have video creators riled up and confused. Recently, it announced that users must now join YouTube's partner program in order to add end cards with external links. But the catch is, the partner program limits the end cards to channels with 10,000 total public views or more. And signing up for the program prompts YouTube to manually investigate the channel to ensure that it's meeting community and advertising guidelines.
All right, now Google, which owns YouTube, says it's doing this because it's found that some of the end card screens are being used in ways it considers harmful to users.
A spokesperson told Polygon, creators are being asked to join the YouTube Partner Program so that we can evaluate the validity of the channel as well as determine whether the channel is following our community guidelines and advertiser policies. This update is meant to curb abuse and does not affect current YouTube partners or existing end cards.
Although they didn't really go into what sort of abuse it entails, it's already pretty restricted. So after a channel joins a partner program, they can then add their Patreon links and they don't have to turn on monetization in order to use them. That's pretty important. That's something that a lot of people have been worried about with this development. Meanwhile, non-partners can still link to outside sites in the video description, but obviously that's way less prominent than an end card.
Yeah, nobody reads those, believe me. The whole episode royally pissed off some people who were confused as to why this was happening right after YouTube announced its new sponsorship model. That new model lets viewers pay a monthly fee to their favorite creators, similar to what Twitch does. And some people wondered if the changes were an effort to push YouTubers to drop Patreon in favor of this new sponsorship model.
One YouTuber, Ian Danskin of Innuendo Studios, also noted the 10,000 views threshold and tweeted, "Small channels with dedicated Patreon supporters are effed." I think he means fudged.
Yeah, fudged.
He added, "I've known many YouTubers who were happy to get 200 views on a video. That 10,000 threshold is a long way off for them."
It's a long, long way off. Another person with a YouTube channel, the popular musician Jack Conte, tweeted, "This would be hurtful for creators and for Patreon if true."
This change is coming as Patreon's being used more and more by a lot of YouTubers, especially now that YouTube's been cracking down on what can and can't be monetized, and a lot of creators are finding just mass demonetization across their channels. Like ProZD's been finding that, and that's a shame because he's a funny dude.
Funny.
It's had huge impacts all across YouTube as a lot of channels, not just ProZD. We had one on Glitch Please because of a title name, and we had to have it manually reviewed. But we were fortunate that we could have it manually reviewed because it had enough views to get that. Not everyone does. And you know, a lot of people are still trying to figure out what it is that is flagging these videos for demonetization, what YouTube will accept. It's not clear.
If only they could tell us.
If only. But then, but Gus, then we'd know what to do.
Mashable reports that one popular YouTuber who runs the channel, Onage Pranks, says he's tried to contact YouTube, but he often can't get a clear answer on why some videos get demonetized. He told Mashable that Patreon and other ways to supplement income are crucial, especially when there's just no guarantees with what YouTube is going to do. They could just flip the switch on you at any time.
So then you kind of have to ask why YouTube would be doing this at all. Why, like, your creators are already feeling cracked down on. But by requiring people to sign up for the partnership program, it seems like what YouTube might be trying to do is further monitor how channels are monetizing users. Now, from a business standpoint, purely business, and that's what YouTube is. They're not your friend, they're not your buddy, they're a business. They're gonna try and keep as much revenue on their platform as possible, as opposed to, say, letting creators just send their viewers elsewhere like Twitch or Patreon to give them money. I mean, that's not good. That's not a good business move. So that's good for Twitch and Patreon, not YouTube. And YouTube is definitely doing less and less these days to help channels that aren't monetized push people elsewhere.
But those efforts from YouTube have definitely caused friction with its audience and creators and the larger YouTube culture, which still has a watch it for free mentality as compared to platforms like Twitch, where viewers regularly give money to support channels.
Yeah, they've got to throw money at the screen mentality on Twitch.
Bits. Right? It's bits?
And cheers,
bits
and cheers, and
all that stuff.
You can call your money whatever you want and throw it at the screen, and they will take it.
Yeah, and of course YouTube is clearly jealous of that and is trying to incorporate more of that into its own platform.
Hence the sponsorships. You can now buy custom emojis and the rest of the Twitch feature list. And now YouTube's running into a lot more trouble when it comes to its live streaming efforts, though, because as we mentioned in the roundup, you may have heard a little bit about this. Nintendo is now restricting live streaming of its games on YouTube in particular. So yeah, no doubt that it's getting tougher and tougher to be a YouTuber these days.
Ultimately, we don't know the reason why YouTube is doing this, but it's worth noting one more interesting point that might be relevant.
Tell me, Gus.
YouTube still might not be profitable after all these years, at least as of a year ago. Despite the millions of hours of content that people watch on the platform, YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki said last year that the site, which has been around for more than a decade now, is still in investment mode.
That's a long time. That's a long time to be in investment mode.
And she said there's no timetable when it comes to being profitable.
Right. So if YouTube isn't currently making money, maybe they're feeling pressure from Google to do so. How long can you go and not make any sort of profit before you get cut loose? Kind of hard to say. It also means that, we like to think of like YouTube as this giant corporate conglomerate that could just afford to throw money every which way, but they're not making money. Mm-hmm. So that's actually kind of tough, and it explains why they might be feeling under so much more pressure from the adpocalypse to correct that and get revenue back into their platform. So I don't know, we'll have to see, I guess. At any rate, it's gonna be interesting to watch how the moves are received by YouTube's network of creators and the audience. Because if the internet's taught us anything, it's that nothing lasts forever. There's always a chance that people go somewhere else, and well, maybe someone's building it right now. Who knows?
Yeah, someone else can lose money. What do you guys think about YouTube's new rules involving sites like Patreon? Let us know in the comments.
And for all your YouTube streaming internet news, especially when it pertains to video games, which is what we're here for. And if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe to the know. Please don't demonetize us, and like our video so that other people can see our video. How does stripping the ability for smaller channels to effectively monetize their work at all curb abuse? I've known many YouTubers who are happy to get 200 views on a video. That 10,000...
Another person with a YouTube channel, the popular musician is it Conti or Conte?
Conte.
Picante?
Picante, spicy.